Rev up your engines! Here we got a 12-year-old BMW that isn't running right. No surprise there, it's running like crap. Check engine lights on, so let's scan it. The scanner up to the data port, and what does it say? P0306. Cylinder number 6 misfire detected. Now, a misfire in any one cylinder can be a whole bunch of things. It can be the ignition system, the fuel system, a blowing head gasket, a bad valve, all kinds of stuff. But always start basically. We're gonna go to number 6 and see what's going on there. Now, being a BMW, you can't see the spark plug, so we gotta take this plastic crap off. In this case, it's a 5mm hex head. We'll take these stupid things off. Oh, it makes them look so great, doesn't it? It just makes it a pain to work on. Plain stupidity, some of these designs. You gotta take half of this stuff apart to access it to get it off. I know they're brilliant German designs. So we'll take these clips off. Some more over here. Get this out of the way. Then we can slide the cover up and get to the spark plugs up here. And the number 6 is hiding way back here, so we'll check that first. And now you can see why I think so little of BMWs, modern ones. Look, all plastic crap. This is all plastic crap. You gotta pull the little line off the coil, and then it's theoretically just pulls out. But these are stuck because they're 12 years old, and they're gonna be cows to get out. Plastic, old age, heat on the engine. And then the stupid cover on top of it to hold the heat in even more, so the plastic retains the heat and cracks even more. Let's hope nothing breaks when we take it off, but don't be surprised if a bunch of this plastic crap starts snapping off in your hands. You'll just have to replace it then. You gotta pull the coils up. Not an easy thing to do. It's all plastic, and it may crack, and you're just gonna have to buy a new ignition coil if it does. My trick is to get a big pry bar, start to pry them out. Because they're sitting in there. There's no bolt holding them in like a better made Toyota where the coils are bolted on. These are just placed in. But that rubber and plastic, hey, it's been on there for 12 years, so it's often really hard to get off. And you'll often break stuff, but here goes nothing. We'll try some prying and praying. Praying and prying. Getting a little looser. Still won't come out though. Now it is easier to work on the front one, so I got the front one out, and there's a point to this. If I ever do get the back number 6 one off without breaking it, what I'm gonna do is check the spark plug, see if the spark plug's okay, and then I'm gonna put the number 2 coil here on number 6 and number 6 on number 2. And if the misfire moves to number 2, then we'll know it's just an ignition coil. It's as simple as that when you only have one misfire for one cylinder. If you finally get the spark plug ignition coil off, you'll see they have weird spark plugs. Typical BMW crap. You see, they're not regular hex heads, they got these crenulations. But fortunately, if you have a 14mm socket, it does fit over it. You do not have to go to BMW to buy a fancy socket. A plain old 14mm socket will work to get it off. Of course, a crenulated one works better, but here's a plain old regular hex one. You wiggle it, it goes right on. It'll hold it and take it off. You don't have to buy that special tool. But you gotta have a 14mm thin wall deep socket or you'll never get the stupid thing out. It's not a regular size spark plug. Now with a ton of wiggling and prying and then wiggling to get it off, because of course there's no working room in the back of the engine, out comes the stupid number 6 ignition coil. There it is. Now of course it could be a bad spark plug, so I'm going to take that spark plug out and put a new one in just in case. Now even that's a chore. Not much working room, and I've had to put 3 different size extensions in to get it deep enough, but it seems to be coming loose. And yes, I can turn it with my bare hands now. A lot of work. Voila, finally. And as you can see here, I had to have various wiggling extensions. So I put it in with just a short one. Then when that falls in, you put this on top so you can get the socket and get your ratchet to take it off. But then when you pull it out, it won't come out. So you got to pull it out part way, then take off that end, then get the rest with the spark plug. Now, it doesn't look horrendous, but all the work on this, I'm not taking a chance. Maybe it's bad electrically inside, so I'm just going to replace it with a new one. Just be sure to replace it with the same plug. These are both Bosch plugs. Now, we'll tighten the new spark plug in. No working room, of course. In this case, I'm using the stubby ratchet because there's more room for tightening up quicker. It still takes a while, but you can see the stubby one you can turn fast. Then for the final part, use the big one. And now comes the logical part. This is the number 6 ignition coil. I'm going to put that on number 2 and put number 2 on number 6. Then when we drive it, if the code goes to number 2, you'll know it was the coil that caused the problem in the whole place. You don't want to guess at these things. They're pretty expensive on BMWs. So before I forget, I'm going to put the number 6 on a number 2 right now. In it goes. They go in a lot easier than they come out. They just plug in a hole and then the connector just snaps in and you lock it with the top. Then we got to do it in the back. I can't film that, there's no room, but it's the same process. Then we use a scan tool to erase the codes. As you can see, codes remaining 0. And start it up. Just don't forget to put the air filter back on. Make sure that's all tight. Well, here goes nothing. Well, hopefully something. Now we'll take it for a spin and see what happens. Well, that didn't take long. The check engine light already's come back on. So let's see what the magic computer says. And magically enough, it now says P0302, cylinder number 2, misfire. Hooray! We didn't fix it yet, but now we know it's the ignition coil. Because we put the number 6 ignition coil on a number 2, and the misfire moved from number 6 to number 2. So we know that coil's bad. We'll go put a coil in it. So we get the brand new coil and swap out number 2 again. So this time we'll just move this out of the way a little, unplug it, out it comes. And here goes the new one, back in the hole. Plug it in, make sure it's lined up right, and snap it in place. There we go. Put the stupid bolts back on. Ridiculous covers, I don't know why they even bother. And this time we should have better luck. Sounds a lot better already. No more of that backfiring. Well, we gotta take it for a road test anyway. And as you can see now, it's idling smooth, but watch, when you step on the gas, it goes. No more hesitation. So the next time your BMW or any other car starts misfiring, now you know how you can fix it yourself. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.